Tamque to jia jere zon zon yin jia ma da de jia bon zon ba sur jia long ba ta bra ji ba ge jia 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 bu jia dong ge zan dor jin chen chen de lo na ro da ma ba ma la ji jia gam bo ba ba mo zhe ba jia wan zhou gong ba ka jue lo ma nan jia da jian xie da nan da na zira tam jia de lo ma la ba la ye ji za lo song yong den jiang zhe nga la ban den zhe dong jian zhe be ge le zuo da ge lo ju zong zhe wa zhen jia lab de chu lam de zhe wa zhen jia lab de zo lan zhe wa ze wa zhen jia lab de zo zhe wa yi xu zhen jia wa zhen jia lab de zo Gang ge den jian zhe wa ren jian ga ba me ba jie me ba jie ba me ba da me ba wan me ba zhuo me ba ta de du me dun jie me zhi ba nie jie jie den ba zu bu san jie ma nan jie dan ba de la jiang zuo de zhen jie za wa la ma ji jie gu sun du jie xian lan da 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 ge jie lan be de da ge den ba dan sun jie jie dun jia jian ban zhe ba xin jie la de zuo Nong kwa tang nyambe simjin tamchi jidun de dinde la na me bar yang da bar zobu san ji je gongpang rumbo je do bar cha. Di chi de dambu chu kan ye sin de do nyam se la mar jo nyambe samba chan chun jo de simji ba da. Chu nimbe gun ju de gun long manar bu gun sim bar cha. De la gang sim bar sa we chu ne. Kyobpa Jikten Sumgön gongpo tenyi jin zepe tamchu gongpa jikpa tene tsom dun tang dorji song jata ngap ju danyi jin tere te nanga da tata tsom yipa jancho kasem tsom xeba re xeba kabre ndala dorji song nishi tsabyo yo ba ke tata dorji song jonga ba ndar
So with the aspiration, may all sentient beings as vast as space reach the state of awakening or Buddhahood. And with this objective in mind, I will listen to the Dharma teachings with a vast intention or a vast motivation. So establishing this vast motivation without any error or the unmistaken motivation, we should listen to the Dharma teachings. And what is the content of the Dharma teachings that we are listening to? It is that of the profound Dharma of Lord Jikten Sumgön, comprising his seminal work, the Gong Chik, or the single intent, the single enlightened intent, which is comprised of 7 sections or chapters and 150 Vajra statements. So now we are on the 4th section, which is dealing with Bodhichitta, or which it addresses Bodhichitta. And in this section, there are 24 Vajra statements. And of those 24, we are on the 15th.
And saduk minji nirang tumong de song, nirang tumong yin song. And tikpa chimbo ke das sa jyo si xeya yorwa. Sa jyo nang ke das sa chokpa minchu, sa tangbo ni sa chokpa minchu de tene nintu da ranja tharmji ke top panto zenare gandar topa nyamba re song re da sa perna sa dambo ne drop par de dimba ye tamje ga dedra to parila tene sa tambo ne tobu parje jansam tamje ga darang to pa yenzam jibaris te yendo sa tambo ne tobu par la jansam tamje ki tene timder juni lungjong da lugdo la so benam ya topa to jetaba yin topa yin de drachom batam je ranger drachom batam je ga tetar to go yuzan topo chani nin tu ranger dan tene jansim satoba minche te jigbare so
So the 15th Vajra statement says, up to the 6th Bodhisattva stage, the realization in common, or the realization is in common with that of Shravakas and particular Buddhas. So in the context of Mahayana, we speak of the 10 bhumis, the 10 stages of enlightenment. And here the assertion is that the stages of enlightenment on the bhumis, stage 1 through 6, up to stage 6, is actually shared or is in common with the realization also developed by Shravakas and particular Buddhas. And so, for example, from the first bhumi to the 6th, what is realized are the Four Noble Truths. And this is the same for those on the Mahayana path as well, or those who on the Bodhisattva path. This corresponds with the experience of awakening also experienced by those with bodhicitta from the first to the 6 stages. Likewise, from the first to the 6 stages, the 12 links of dependent origination are fully understood or fully seen, both in their how they operate in progressive order and also their unraveling through the reversed order of dependent origination. And so this realization is also the same for whether it is one on the Bodhisattva path or for particular Buddhas who have realized that level. So the first to the 6 bhumis are common for both for Bodhisattvas and Shravakas and particular Buddhas alike.
Dan de kapso ying sungdu ta chancho samba sa top ni zonde teni nintu la so bale topa chepar tan phagre song garwa ta ndala Jikten sunggung sundu ta sa topa menchela topa chikpare song yorwa ta da kondu shipatere ta yena yande chepar mandawa tarong yo mare vesina yore yoba te kangri sena chancho samba de zo tangbo reiji goni yang chepar tan phagre song reiji goni shiba da sanje ke chitang simjin thamje la sanje ke chepar me ba yore te ine da satop chancho samba de sondo ina da sanje ala che thana wa ha chang ke nyebo ke ne wa bla lebdi yorwa nda chegre ti chane reg goni chepar che phag yoris teni 탑 당 히랍 senyi yora te nang 탑 ju goni yang da zo chepar dan phagris te kangris na de chancho samban do so ke ju long do gang ji na yang ting do de Yinping tabs in the Yoris. Kindness, Jancho Sambatam Yindung Chida, then Modo Jiang Yuri. Nintu the Raja in a Randong Chid Jiang Yuzan, Hirakchani Chepar Yomaride, Tabjaconi, Chepar Chin Sumaris.
Others claim that that actually it is only those on the Bodhisattva path who enter the stages of the bhumis altogether, and that bodhisattvas are the realization of bodhisattvas is entirely apart from and superior to that of Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. Whereas Lord Jikten Sumgön says that actually there are there's much that is the same, that from the first to the sixth bhumi, the realization is shared. However, if we then say, well, then does that mean that there's really actually no difference between hearers and solitary realizers and bodhisattvas? Then, of course, the answer is no. There is a difference. They're not exactly the same. And the way in which those on the bodhisattva path are superior to the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas is in regards to family, because they belong to the family of the Buddhas. And of course, on the one hand, actually all sentient beings belong to the family of the Buddhas. But the bodhisattvas are closer to the heart of the Buddhas. They're they're in closer proximity to the Buddhas. So they're sort of more related, or they are actually of the same family in a way that Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas are not. Also, they're not the same with regard to method and wisdom. So the method or skillful means of bodhisattvas is exalted above that of the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. In that their experience and realization is all based on the aspiration to seek the benefit and well-being of others. Whereas the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas are seeking awakening for their own liberation and benefit. So from the perspective of wisdom, their realization up to the sixth bhumi is the same, but with respect to method or skillful means, there is a difference.
Perna Jarpo Chigla Percheyo Jarpo take Lumbo de la Yang Percheyuna Korani Yunti Chechon le Chepar Mena Yang. The Chik Jarpo Per in Bejim Sink Ran Yink Kon Tong Chiva Rain Toan Rawaji Japu Rain Rawajins Tetawagon Chepayurs Pete Ya.
So the example that is given is like that it is like the difference between a prince or the son of a king and the son of the king's minister. So if the son of the king and the son of the minister are peers, and there may not be any difference with respect to their learning, their qualities in education, but when it comes to bloodline or family lineage, then the prince, the son of the king, is superior or of a pure or higher lineage.
Ta tani dorji song Kyobpa de semsamban sabdung to yin so dan dikap so yang yin ke song du ta semsamba de ge chuni to par chuni ge dimba to tu ge mare song kin je yores yina ya joban jitin sungong ke semsamba ge chuni ge dimba to ge yores song bare to ba za ma se sa dumba ge janchu sumba sa dumba ge ngong do da ji ba yin so.
So then the 16th Vajra statement says, the view of Chittamatra reaches as far as the realization of the 7th stage. What is sometimes claimed in contradiction to this is some will say that those who belonging to the mind-only view or Chittamatra of the Chittamatra do not realize the truth of Dharmata or the absolute nature. Lord Jikten Sumgön says that they do in fact realize the absolute nature, the truth of Dharmata, and their realization, the full level of their realization corresponds with or is demarcated at the 7th Bodhisattva Bhumi, so that they have reached that the realization of the Chittamatra view reaches the 7th stage, the 7th Bhumi.
Jirdan sadumba shibandala sadumba ring to sungwa hyukoyorin sin la main la de hya de parar de simba jö nange tapji parar de simba lakpar nyamsling ne dike ngundo jule thinking ke jancho samba de chade yorwa sadumba und de ndu 단데게 데니 로이 군이양 세르진노 투그리 손다 닌투당 란자르당 데라소바 로이 군에 세르진노 투그리 가인스나 또즈 그차니 ndaga 마리소 다 데인잔다 셈잠바 히반데 게 jir당 나와 semsu kelin nawa semsu kelin ba zamaze semzam de kelin ge yorwa nawa semzam de sur gungu bonda da dam je ranjin je ma ba to de dar kelin dan nawa de tamje dara semzam yin son kelin ge yorwa
So the name of the 7th Bhumi is the far-reaching Bhumi, or the Bhumi of going far, going beyond, the far-reaching Bhumi. In relation to the practice of the 10 perfections or the 10 paramitas, the paramita of method or skillful means is mainly practiced by bodhisattvas when they are at the 7th Bhumi. So the sort of full culmination or development of the perfection of skillful means occurs at the 7th level, at the 7th Bhumi. And likewise, at this stage, there is the power to subdue others or to tame others through the door of the mind. So there's the ability to, for instance, tame the views of Shravakas and Pratyekya Buddhas through the door of the mind. De loyi gone de dojala dotukiyore laukiyore.
Loyi gone chepartan paparis. Loyi gone jang nintu to solatuna chepartan pagaris.
Oh, okay. So actually, maybe that was not correct in saying that they can subdue through the door of the mind, actually, but that with respect to their the realization or the mind, they at that point they are beyond the realization of Shravakas and Parteka Buddhas. So this level of realization is exceptional. It's beyond that which was mentioned before. And the view of or that which is understood, or the understanding of the mind-only proponents is that all appearances are merely mind, and that it is so all that appears, all phenomena is realized as the mind itself, as merely mind.
Teninda de Jirtang Simsang Bake Sadun Bake Mundo Yobanda Tenin Do Lankar Shikpanana. And the song your Semzam Lan Dumba De Nawa Me Bar Sabji Sani Dane Ne Yinde Kyobpa Ishi Chimboni. Then I say no son and then the Koyora long.
So, as it says in the Lankavatara Sutra, where there is only mind, that is the seventh stage. Without appearances, in the meditative state, that is the eighth. The two stages, 9 and 10, are such that the subtle appearances remain in the non-meditative state. The 10th is great gnosis. These are my stages.
Kandaryang Semzamba Hibandela Jirtan Yewanro long Drumta Semzamba Dang Kai Semzamba Yewa Dang Nancy's Semzang Namzumba Nambatan Jumbarton Namzumba Dang Semjan Namba Zamde Dimbarn Zinking Namdimba Sita Yewa Mambo Yore the Kandaryang Semzamba Hibandeka Surug Dung Chilo ke redang, zihen dang, kangba dang, dela soba, duting ran yinde, dimit toyorus, dimbar madraba toyorus. Yina dan daza tamje nangdosa ke yenra de gareri de sa tandu, ta nang sen semzam de la rale de yoba, de zamje gonris. Ta de zam gondu, Tene ta tikpa chimbola woma pa tang semzam pa shi yewa ni se songa. Te indu ta woma pa shi banda semzam pa le jang ta ngombar to ngoto ge ishi den to ho yore kan se ni se me pa la don la don to yong ge yore woma pa de ge na semzam ban de ge gang da ya sem ju ngo zam tarong 다 진바 요바레스 셈종오 잠데 다 딘저런 진게 요장 데네 다 우마바탄 만라바테 테레 이네야 사듬바 근온도 요레 손다라 지딘 송거다 송바다바레스
So the yewa the semsampaki yewa kashi sumyore ditso yapoko yosamare.
Oh yeah. Semzamba la kai semzamba hi kai semzamba dang the drumta semzamba
Oh, ni yore.
Ni yore.
So there are the different sort of branches or different schools of Chittamatran thought. And they're the two main schools of the true aspectarians and the false aspectarians. But in general, the thinking or the view of the mind-only school is that there's nothing whatsoever that it exists externally, not even the tiniest of atoms or particles, that whatever, so what is realized is that everything that appears is merely the appearance of mind. But the basis for these appearances is the ground or the essence of mind itself, the self-luminous essence or the mind itself. And so what all that exists, or the only all that there is merely mind, the self-luminous essence of mind. Where they differ from the view of Madhyamaka is that the Madhyamaka realization, or the view of Madhyamaka, is that the fully manifest realization of gnosis or primordial wisdom is non-duality. And so from the perspective of Madhyamaka, the Chittamatra view still has this fixation, subtle fixation, to the essence of mind itself. And so this is where they differ from Madhyamaka, from the realization of the, that is asserted by the Madhyamaka view. And yet, up to the seventh bhumi, here the proclamation is that up to the seventh bhumi, their realization is the same, so that the Chittamatra view of a full realization corresponds with the seventh bhumi.
And the Sukabs so Chihute, Truntaka, Din Salam Kenamya, the Higoya de Karchimbo Jiri. Hibale Jang Karchehu the Susuk Jula, the Sunyamyong to Jegondoa. Natso go nga Tikpa Chimbo yins, Tikpa Chimbo Zamaze Nabe Shuk, Sanga Dorji Tikpa Nyamsling in us. The Nachiki, that the Naindu, or Simzamba Shibande, that's now Sim Dindrip the killing, reads the here de Batzanke, Pink Yomare. So ke nyama jigla yang nawa tamji semri san samno kornyong e dambo soso la chwa. Dong to ne soso simzam bale jang tapjo a cha de mi pa ke nika me yu mesi bari ma da ha. Tanda yin zang soso ke dambo soso samno nang la tor ne jes tola samjiki ta tanda tola semko tola hira samno ton deha tang mandona ta tanya ganggo zo dik tumtan zo hiendu ta teni sosoke yang ta semko tola teni samno tang tanda je tomna teni yang deha de zangke samno tang mamnyong ki na yang wangbo rab yina Dara Tupchin Saraha ke Tuba Nana Changlong ne Delatandu, Tene Zihen La Subzuni Hardu, Chutamji Dimi the Topa Nayi, Yong Sigrava, Tenda Inza, Da Karang Tariang around Susuka Semna Surgeon, Susuka Sem Jujitaya race it so hakuranged.
Dini the Dangpo tini nune pacheti ko yusare yene yang ti tata sangman ko yena chichina ko yusare sangman man de chinang norwa che kona tini nala sung chogrewa.
Oh yeah.
So mainly, when it comes to investigating the views of these different philosophical schools, this is important and beneficial to do as a matter of study. But even more important is for the understanding through experience to arise in the mind stream. If that doesn't happen, if based on just intellectual analysis or study, one says, "Oh, I belong to the school of the great vehicle. I'm a Mahayana practitioner," or even more importantly, "I am a Vajrayana secret mantra practitioner." And then if one has some concept that the view or the realization of mind only, that the view of mind only is somehow inferior because there's said to be this subtle grasping to the essence of the mind itself. Then we have to look at our own experience and honestly ask ourselves, do we really have any level of experience anywhere near what is explained to be this experience of the Chittamatra view, or the mind only? And so first we have to really look honestly at the level of experience and realization that has occurred in our own mind stream. Is there actually direct experience of any approximation of what that even really means? And so if we don't have any samlotang du mena
Nima chigla yang che nawan da semri tine ke thima chigla ya gom nyamni chi nyomi na maje na
nang what was it, young person?
Ta soso la tsatsam no tang du o nge ta nawa tam che semri tine chuni tinyom mo da sima ra che soso ha konas.
Yeah. So if one dini di penasaraha nangshin yong sigire di dang tatasung pati kitrawa kare yorela.
Ta pen nga ta bok nga semla san don o nga ta ta par de nawa semri chuni tinyom mo da tin ta nga tring go do tin ba ta nge nawa semri ting go do tin na chik che na wang bo rab yi na saraha na yi cha sibare ko ten ha lo mang bo la ke tanda sam na tang ma nyo na ta lo ber de yang nyam to ba ju le che sibare is.
That's all. So if in looking at one's own experience, if we say, oh, it is actually true that I've never had the direct experience of understanding all appearances to merely be mind, but I'd be really interested to have that experience. I want to have that experience. And perhaps it's not impossible that one might be like the great Mahasiddha Saraha, who in drinking a vessel or from a container vessel filled with wine, saw the reflection of the treetops, or saw the reflection of the landscape in his wine, and in seeing that reflection, suddenly understood that all appearances are like a mere reflection, or merely the reflection of the mind, that nothing really truly exists from its own side. And then in that moment, he had a profound experience of the profound realization of emptiness. And so it is sometimes the case that one can be an instantaneous realizer like this, that given the perfect conditions of the moment, then there is a genuine insight that arises.
Tandra yong sibaris ngarang so na saraha na yong sibaris.
So it is possible that that could happen. It's not impossible for such a thing to occur, even for us.
다 되니 dorji songkyub den ba deke chuji dami sabje ngon de je songre nan de la chub den ba de wa ore ta sa chuji dami sabje ngon de nan de ying la de sa tambo tudini chuji dami dan ganza ga dami niga toba yore sung yores yine anjiktin sung ge chuji dami de ta sa jeba la ngun de jeba res ngun sa jeba la jansam te ge tini chuji dami to ko yore sung bare.
So then we have the 17th Vajra statement, which says, one actualizes the absence of a self of phenomena on the 8th stage, or the 8th bhumi. So there are other views, or others will claim that the realization of the selflessness of phenomena is realized at the first bhumi, on the first bhumi, together with the realization of the selflessness of the individual. But Lord Jikten Sumgön says that for the realization of the Bodhisattva, the selflessness of phenomena is realized at the 8th bhumi.
Kanza ga damin de ta satambo ne topa matse nin tu ranjar thamje ke kanza dami topa yi son joban jiti sung to gu son so
Di sa dampo la to grebe
sa tambo la chancho samba thamje ke kanza dami to gu wa te nin tu ranjar thamje ke kanza dami to gu son tanang son so ta chuji damin de sa tambu kaps chuji dami rakpa toba yojire de ta chuji dami yongsu zoba toba te sa jeba ne toba yiki yoris.
So, as was already explained, since the realization of Travakas and Pratyekya Buddhas also is one that realizes the selflessness of the individual, and as they also share common levels of the development of wisdom or realization with those on the Bodhisattva path up to the 6th bhumi, then the realization of the selflessness of the individual occurs at the 1st bhumi. And it isn't, it can be, or it is the case that a coarse aspect of the realization of the selflessness of a phenomena occurs also at the 1st bhumi, or during the earlier bhumis or stages. But the realization of the selflessness of phenomena is not fully developed or realized to its full potential or capacity until one reaches the 8th bhumi.
Da kantaryan dami hibanda ori tambo tekin kamga khela chuji dami sa tambo ni toba yori song ye yoris denin dala di nandong karerisena taksa sasum mada sa je si sa chotla te tab zhe yore mada sabduns takpa sa som sin sa chotla cho ni gone songdu deni takpa sa som nang ke sa tambo de sa je pa cha de yu zang de le gong gre song den nang yore.
So there are others who claim, and actually there is scriptural support or scriptural authority that claims that in some cases that the selflessness of phenomena is realized on the first stage, and the realization of the truth of selflessness can occur on the first bhumi. So there are those who assert that view, and there is a scripture that also supports it. But the way that this can be explained, or is explained here, is that there are the impure bhumis and the pure bhumis, or the impure stages and the pure stages. So there are the impure 7 stages or bhumis, and then there are the 3 pure bhumis or stages. And the impure bhumis are the 1st to the 7th, and then the pure bhumis are the 8th to the 10th. So the first of the 3 pure stages, or the first of the 3 pure bhumis, is actually, in fact, the 8th bhumi. So when it is said that the selflessness of phenomena is realized at the first stage, or the first bhumi, this is actually referring to the first stage of the 3 pure bhumis, which is the 8th bhumi.
Tene lapar de sa dumba minche ke dami to tante bezor ta je bugoni dene dami to goyo bares. Te sa jepa de ina tene bepa da zowa tendra jache magu butoni tene tondo ba teke chepar je goyo res.
And so what kind of qualifies the stages up to the 7th, so up to the 7th stage, there is still effort that is realized, that one still has to exert oneself in the disciplines and the conduct in order to realize the truth of the selflessness of phenomena. But when one realizes, or when one reaches the 8th bhumi, then one has entered into the stages of effortlessness, where there is no effort needed.
Tene cherdang de kapso sa tambo kanza ge dami sa tambo ni tondu chuji dami sa jeba lo topa ke drubzi ke long sanje ke long kare ke droko yorisina tene ndo jache ro panando chund tamje ran yin da mi be zuba da ke topa de che pachar te yin sarya sanje marmen ze da sanje marmen ze da long tin so dan de ke droko yore denin de Kantarias.
Te pachar ko nigere gongta. Te tampo sumpate yangchar sumro na?
Sa tambo la kanza gdami toris. Sa jepa la chuj dami toris bande sanje ke
oh yeah.
long.
So actually there's also scriptural support that claims, or that clearly states, that one actualizes the realization of the selflessness of the individual on the first bhumi, and the realization of the selflessness of phenomena occurs on the 8th bhumi. And this is stated in both the Vikurhavana Sutra and also the Dipankara Sutra.
Oh yeah. Then the dami hibande karendo chade yorisina ngaranzo kowa lang korzi de tambo jo marek balati marek balen trubake teni tambo nga hi dala shincha je te da yu chadu da yu nan yin yin de shi sumba da da azu de yin sen de zemba de jen du de ne gandar ganzag da dan chuji da de da den zemba ni de jen go yoris.
And so the way that the mistaken apprehension of self attributed to both the individual and to phenomena occurs, and as it becomes a sort of the fundamental cause for wandering in cyclic existence or samsara, and this begins with the obscuration of ignorance or unawareness. Then based on confusion, the confusion of ignorance, there is the misapprehension of a self. One first thinks, has the sense of I, of like an indwelling I. And then once there is this concept of self, then in juxtaposition to the self, there arises the concept of other. And so as long as there is so there arises the concept of self, and then there arises the concept of other, so there's the fixation to self and other. And this corresponds with the selfhood of the individual and the selfhood of phenomena.
Tene shanti dewa ki junjo no sonrwa 강기 취제 때르침보 샘제 상的 마시나 대탑 동할 빵두장 대다 도미 지나는 참소 다 샘제 상 가레리스 담보 나랑조 샘 다히 나와 샘잠 라임바 담보 샘잠임바 하고나 샘잠임바 하고 차르드 샘제 상와 또 샘제 상와데 가레리스나 다미 바드레 다 다미 반 지시 다미 버게 네록데 마토바 데시드 테 나란서 대완두장 데니 문두바 동할 제용와 문두바 동할 문두장 데니 코 노베 대와데 저토도 켄마다바 근데 그 tuk사나오데 된 다든지 바단진들 토도 요장 되네 대하고 그래서
공타데 춘주기 공텐데 가 사기요 희네양테 마 사메니요 마레드니 사기요 베카라니엔 투기요 마레와 공타
가장 제일 땅인 바데 때는 요 말이다 저와는 요 말이
카상 응마 코리엠베
네 제일 거리야 성장에 따라 롱드니요
공타 well tata ni tukmendo inan kemendo yangchar sungna danenga dendo gre
그래 관계 취제 때르친 보소 샘제 상的 마시나소 대탑 동할 빵두장 대다 도미 제나르 참스
tene de jela chenang tes yangchar joshiga rono
다 추게 때르침본다고데 가르스나 샘지 상완들이 송래 샘지 상완데 또발라 담보 가랑서 그 나와단지 샘잠 임바하 고거라 샘잠 임바하 고 데니 샘잠 임바하 고아잠 그 저게 요 말이 가르 걸슨 샘지 상와데 다미 바넬로 들어와 다미 바넬로 데 마토나 Tini around the Dewa do jang, Dewa drop matap, Dewa young matap, Dongar Maduja, Dongar Jay on there, then Nenga tell told you sorry.
That's all. So as Shantideva says, of all the great treasures of Dharma, if one does not understand the secret of the mind, though one may wish to overcome suffering and achieve happiness, it is rendered meaningless as one continues to wander in samsara. So that which is the great treasure of Dharma is this secret of the mind, which is essentially the realization that all appearances are merely mind, are merely reflections of the mind itself. And yet understanding this is the first step, and yet merely understanding that or only understanding that is also not yet completely sufficient. So one also has to understand that the mere existence of mind itself is also the nature of selflessness. And so as long as that is not understood, as long as even though we long for happiness or we wish to have happiness, happiness remains out of reach. And as long as and as much as we want to avoid suffering, still suffering continues to come.
Oh, yeah. That job Topa Jik Salam Malu do song. And the card chamber young rila, the la Guaya Polingal Mato take the current Kato Langswaina. Oh, Topa Jik Salam Malu do song yori, Topa Jik was a gormary Drautina. They under Kyomare. Tandikaps Kantar Yink Sundu Tan Tonlam Tang. Teni ting in zila sopa, teni ramba ta tepa, mangpo chik dru ne, tanda gogu sa lam dru di tanda gogu yori sungu yori isi. Ina denda veche gogu mari songri, Jikten sungu ke. Topa jeke, ngumbar topu ngundo jeke, teni sa tan lam rimchi dru do kiro isong.
So then we have the 18th verse, which says, we maintain that one completely traverses all the stages and paths through a single realization. Or with the same realization, one traverses all the stages and paths. So first of all, this is a very profound statement, and it's important to understand it fully, without kind of, without sort of just taking an understanding based on a kind of the first glance. And that if we think, oh, well, rather than progressing through all the stages of realization, one realization is sufficient, or that one is the same as all the stages. But the view here, according to others, is that there is a sequential kind of experience of development and realization, following through the stages of the path to the path of seeing, and the different levels of development through the different stages of samadhi or meditative absorption. Progressing through the stages, the categories of the stages and path, as though it's sort of moving from one and leaving one behind and then moving to the other. But in this case, Lord Jikten Sumgön says that is not the case, that actually It is one single realization, and yet there are still the successive stages or the gradual stages that occur within that realization. There are the stages of development, but the realization itself is one.
Tande karisung yoresina sa tambu kungundo te sanje ke sa parda yan roko yore sonre. Ta tin ko te linta go yorwa. Pena chipa che ke dawa te ko chipa che ke dawa te ya chipa chonga ba ko ya sar rode. Dawa che ri dawa kolin juan ro yo marwa. Ina dawa ko u de ko remji ya jeng ke yorwa. Chipa chingni chonga ba. Te tardo sa tambo kap chi ngumbar to bungu to tin zonde. Tene ta sanje ke sai pardo ngundo tega rang ya kompan ro yore ma to ke. Tene ngundo te la panjro anda wa chin ro ne. Ngundo te mahin ba chi tsar chi ba te ta ba chi ma re so.
So what is meant is that, for instance, what is realized on the first bhumi is the same realization that occurs at the final bhumi or stage of full awakening or Buddhahood. But it's the difference is the level of what is seen. So with the first bhumi, one is seeing the same or having the realization, the experience of the same realization that is experienced at the fully perfected stage. But it is an aspect of it or a fraction of it that just continues to grow and develop as one progresses through the different stages. So the example is given is like the example of the moon. That from it, the moon is the same moon, but its luminosity grows from the period of the new moon all the way to the full moon, or the 15th of the lunar month. At the 15th of the lunar month, you see the fully brilliant luminosity of the full moon. But you see the same moon little by little growing over the courses of the month up to the 15th. The 15th day, it grows larger. What is seen becomes a larger and larger piece of the moon's radiance. And so it is the same way with regard to the development of the qualities from the first stage of awakening all the way to the fully perfected awakening or Buddhahood. It isn't that something different is realized as one progresses on the stages of the path, or that what was the earlier stage of realization somehow changes into something different or is left behind as one moves through the progressive stages. But rather it is the same realization that just develops into a fuller view.
Ta chirtan de sa tambo kungundo tsam yin go yo mare. Ngarang sopena jampan sinju nando. Kechik chik cheda che kechik chik zoksang je songdwa. Ta ngarang su tara number mato bangang la lam che yatana pena karma ngala yotana. Number mato bangang la karma ngala yatapan di number mato bag ta yihi lamnare number mato bag hiba tokbande sanje sapa de yan rogo yorwa. Karsi ngarang so karma nga tawala number mato bangal lam se yakpa de sanje ka sal masona. Tene ta karela goro tene ngarang so sanje thabyala panda anda wache ra kala khapore da. Te enzan ta ngarang so ko chitang kmachuma che ke ko nyamni number kapje number mato bangala joba chaja chimbo ta bangala kechek zamla ya thabai na 대양 산제가 사파든 로그 요자 주요던 제브 그 희와 그토네양 대가랑 튼거 요래라 동읍 토네양 로고야 대랑 로고 요자 대서 맹만다바 따이가 바리스 페나 사당bungun도 사족bungun도 사주bungun도 산제 그 냠도세 로가를 맹카카카카 따이가 바리마도 동구 준라오데 찍찍랑 차도 요레서
Jibab Nelo Dini Chik Sung Yorewa de Nyamling Chacha Chimpo Ke Chik Nangla Che Tubna Dini Jibab Ki Nelo Dini Gare Sumi?
차자 침봉알라 깨찍 잔나 파 냠pan jo thomna tin 냠pan jo ti kapji ta nyam ja ki hi je yora nyam par ya ba ki hi je na to pa je yora de sanje ka sal nda yan ro go yoris.
Yeah. Okay. So there is full, actually, the full realization that can occur in a single moment, in a single instant. So even it isn't necessarily only the case that once one has reached the stages of the bhumis, that one can have a glimpse or can realize this innate nature, which is the same, whether wherever it is on the path to awakening, the essence that is realized is essentially the same. And this is also exemplified in the famous lines of the Manjushri Nama Samgiti, when it says, in the fraction of a single instant, Buddhahood is achieved instantaneously, or in that single instant. And so even without having realized the stages of the bhumis and paths, even if for 5 minutes we are able to rest in the unelaborated nature without in a state that is free of concepts, in which we can abide in pristine awareness, then actually that moment of 5 minutes is no different from the pristine awareness that is realized at the level of the bodhisattva bhumis, or the stages of Buddhahood. And so if that weren't the case, if we weren't capable of having glimpses of that essence prior to the full-blown realization, then it would be indicative of being sort of like an impossible feat. But the fact that we possess the basis, the intrinsic basis for awakening, means that it expresses itself momentarily. And when that momentary experience is seen or experienced, that the essence of that wisdom that is seen is the same, the essence of the same wisdom that is fully developed through at the highest level of awakening, or even it is the same wisdom, the same primordial wisdom of the final bhumis, and so through practice, to even have just a moment of experience in the meditative absorption that realizes primordial wisdom through the recognition of Mahamudra, that is also what is perceived on the bhumis, on the bhumi of enlightenment, of Buddhahood. And so there are many different names that are given according to the different demarcations of development. The 6th bhumi, the 10th bhumi, the bhumi of of Buddhahood or full Buddhahood, but other than there being these demarcations or names, the meaning of what is being referred to is actually the same.
Ta kantar tini topa cheke salam malu du sejede mambo cheke ndrike de chikchar bandawo cheke la ndrike nangdo yore. De inzang nde tik tongda mare se chopan jikti sungong ke chikchar wala ya de kelin nangke yo mare. Tsama rimchi bare se simchin chik sangje gon zonzo rimpe sangje go yoris. Rimpe tela yanko darwa tang 저는 조바 틱 체발지 용거 요르마도 참아 림치바 차다 요르 또바제 그 살라말루 주즈데 또바제 지드네 데니 상진로 왔대다 송고 요 말에 데 또바지인데 냠도 데가랑 코야 컴퍼런네 데니 상제 그 요르 있어 데리 인도 저 또바 인바제 콩고 요 말에 손 코랑 양 살롱도 좀 데니 이렇게 요르 손 대송제리 Then the Drizite Dang Mundo Genus Jatsap Jamangomboke Tietar Jiu So Chun Ju Do Ta Jik Jubana Tamji Jikjarn Gurvardar Keji Yihi Dejinos.
So sometimes there is mistaken interpretation with regard to what is meant by this Vajra statement, that we maintain that one completely traverses all stages and paths through a single realization, or with the same realization one traverses the stages and paths. Sometimes this is taken to mean that to be with reference to the experience of an instantaneous realizer. But actually, Lord Jikten Sumgön doesn't accept the possibility of an instantaneous realizer, meaning one who sort of jumps to instantaneous realization, surpassing the progressive stages of the path. As he says earlier, it is necessary, it can only be the case that one progresses in stages, that one develops through the progressive stages of the path. So his view is that it is absolutely the case that one must go through all of the progressive stages of development and awakening. And the difference only has to do with the speed. There are some who travel more slowly through the progressive stages, and then there are some who move very quickly through the progressive stages. But the need to progress through the stages is the same in both cases. Both go through all of the sequential stages. And so what is Lord Jikten Sumgön is actually stating with this line is more that the realization that occurs or develops through these progressive stages is of one essence, that it's actually, that it is the same, indeed the same realization, that it isn't different realizations that arise at different stages, but it is actually one realization that develops further through each progressive stage. And then, as is said in the Abhisamaya Lankara, as everything is agitated in a single instant, when a person sets the string of the water wheel into motion with a single go, instantaneous wisdom is like that. And so this is explaining the way in which all of the progressive stages occur, even in the experience of what might be deemed instantaneous wisdom or instantaneous realization.
Tene choban jiti sungong ke tesonda jetar nyuktsek mangbo la Kyobpa tsurji tamje jang Kyobpa chik Kyobpa tar devyin hi jingne jik. Tanda sibo hyo devyin hi jingne jik.
And likewise, Lord Jikten Sumgön says, as the many joints of a bamboo stick all split apart with a crack, by splitting open one by one, the wisdoms likewise are realized one by one.
Tani dadio the longjimba dere the Jikten Sumgön song. Hyakji jarpon deni mato pa trangmi sum dengi pa kanando. Tsindi lama timba cholamde. Dangwa jidrin topa jolami. Rangi semni tongwa. Tonglami. Junche mi par gomba gomlami. Ransam undu jorpa parche mis. Chik ma song kyung ete san rashye je jaung tikan.
Yes. So likewise, Lord Jikten Sumgön says, where, apart from this realization of true reality, has the king of the Shakyas, during the 3 immeasurable eons, obtained certainty? To rely on the authentic guru is the path of accumulation. To obtain the teachings of the pith instructions is the path of preparation. To see the nature of one's own mind is the path of seeing. To practice continuously is the path of practice. And to actualize one's own mind is the path without impediments. Or the
Then the pat long delapatana che chikchar to sangjen ro ando che zabtan do sondo the nandun the mares the ke ta shakya to ba na karchin rembe trami samjirin na jun tin ta ravana to su mambo che gorne antani ngapar zo ba sangje ba nzepatin ro wa ina ta ngara zu nyamli nangkin tamji ina soso ran sinni din ba lama tin ba de cholam reis ta cholam gung do gang yin ba de denin sinni din ba lama din dangwa cher thom du de dangwa de sol nyams line dan de lin ba de jolam reis ta ju ti ke dangwa thoyong ba de soso rang ke nyams line du denin soso rang ke sem ke nelong thong wa de la thonglam reis ta nelon thong du ji de korang la pa jun sen na man tu na gom du jun che me ba gomlam reis ta de gomba de ngu du jar ne de gomba de ta tar ndo ji sen du ta gantar de la ransam ngu du jar ba sena dan de la parche me ba lang reis na lang wa de ta ba yan ze do.
So on first glance, one may read this as something that sounds like an assertion of the possibility for instantaneous realization or the instantaneous realizer. But that is not the case. What is being said is that with the example of the Buddha Shakyamuni, who took 3 immeasurable eons or kalpas of gathering the accumulations and demonstrated the deeds of a Buddha through all of the various manifestations and demonstrations or deeds. In the case, in our case, in this example here, the paths are traversed through direct experience, in that the relying on a qualified spiritual teacher is the path of accumulation. This all that is entailed there becomes the path of accumulation. And then receiving their instructions and reflecting upon and practicing the instructions, the pith instructions, becomes the path of preparation or the path of joining. And then, having received those pith instructions, actually putting them in practice in such a way that one then realizes the true nature of one's own mind, it becomes or corresponds with the path of seeing. And then when that realization of the true nature of mind is habituated, it becomes an ongoing experience through habituation. That process of habituation becomes the path of meditation, or it corresponds with the path of meditation. And then once that habituation is so deeply established that it is fully actualized to its fullest potential, then it becomes or corresponds with the path free of impediments, or the path without the potential for obstacles.
Oh, yeah, that the old Jugabate, Dorjison Jugabate. Satap Yundin Jungs or Murto you sonre. Dandela Songoala Jumsini Songaris, Jumsini. Jing there, Nizena that Jumsin Jing already dondala. Jerdang Gashek Sundata Sar Pen Satambo Tomna Yundin Jatra Juni. Sani Bala Yundi Jatra Juni is in the Satoran in the Yundi that Tobjios in the Rasonga Yores. The Ninjictin Sungunga da Satomna Satambo Tomna Satambo Toba the Nyamdo Yundin Jatra Juni Topang Niba Yomare. Satambo Top Sardu, take a panto Nyamni Tar Sindu, the Ni Yundi Jatra Juni Java Yugris, Jikten, Tambo Jikten Sonko.
So then the 19th Vajra statement says, the qualities of the Bodhisattva stages have 16 alternative ways of arising.
16
So first, 19. 19. What did I say?
I heard 16. Maybe.
Oh, sorry. I may have said 16. I'm sorry. I meant 19. The 19th verse says that the qualities of the Bodhisattva stages have 6 alternate ways of arising. The number 2. And so what this is referring to, there's different ways to explain this, but to begin with, there is generally, there are some who claim that when one reaches the first bhumi, there are 12 sets of 100 qualities that arise. And Lord Jikten Sumgön says that actually in reaching the first bhumi, it is uncertain, while one has the realization of the first bhumi, it is uncertain whether the 12 sets of 100 qualities will arise. It's not necessarily the case. It can be the case that only until there is full perfection of development that then the 12 sets of 100 qualities arise.
Then in the song, Jumsin Chekarisina, the Ying des Sungayorva. Chiranzo da Gombat, Gomjane, Nyamli Huenang de Si. Nyamli Nane de Chiranzo. Rojek Topa Julio Laquayore, Rojek Topa de Da Pacher Sa Jepasa Getsel and Jokoyorsi. Then the Raina, then Yontin Jatra Juni, Yontin Najing Tongyam was Churansula. Tana Sunkayores. Churanzo Rojek Topa Julidula, Rojek the Sa Jepa La Sobake, Topa the Nyamba in Laquayores. Then Yontin Gekujin Tongyamado. Sa Tambola Yontin Jatra Juni Tambajia Yore. Yundi Jatra Juni Sidi Yundi Jatso Juni, Yungting Mandawa, Jikten Nija Rindoa, Jikten Nija Jia Yores. The Chusol Yungting Jian Tongyamada was sendu, Tandela, Teni Macho Yores, Mandamada Cho Yores on Jutis.
So the reason for stating this, one of the reasons for stating this is that in our tradition, there is great emphasis placed on meditation. And in the process or in the path of meditation, there are the 4 yogas of Mahamudra that are practiced. And so within the 4 yogas, there is the yoga of one taste. The yoga of one taste, or the realization of the yoga of one that corresponds with the yoga of one taste, is said to occur on the 8th bhumi. So it corresponds with the 8th bhumi. So those who would view practitioners of this tradition, who would speak of or were said to have reached the level of one taste, which would correspond then with the 8th bhumi, then those observing would say, oh, if you all have reached or experienced the yoga of one taste, that means that you're on the 8th bhumi, but none of the 12 sets of 100 qualities are visible at all. So you don't seem to have any of these 100 sets, 12 sets of 100 qualities. So how can you claim to be, or how can these individuals be said to be on the 8th bhumi? Because on the 1st bhumi, in reaching the 1st bhumi, then one receives or one attains the 12 sets of 100 qualities, which are essentially 1,000 different qualities. And so if those, you all haven't attained these, or those are not visible, are apparent, so how can it be said that you are at the 8th bhumi, or that these practitioners have reached the 8th bhumi?
Dan de Jikten Sumgön Sungden de Nyamto de Yona Yang Tigala Yontin Japcha Chuni de Rembe Drop Go Yoriso, Sutram da something da Jancho San Laso Balatine, Yontin Zorembe Drop Go, Drum du, the Yontin to Soremji Jinkin J Yoris.
Sotram Johnson Dang?
Sutram da something, that thing in Zinda, Jancho Sam Laso Ba, the Tony, the Yontin to Sol Darong. Drop go Yorison, Jevarsibala.
So Lord Jikten Sumgön says it is not the case always that these qualities arise in correlation with the reaching the stages of the stage of the 1st bhumi. That the experience and realization can arise, but one still has to continue in the practice of ethical discipline, meditative concentration and absorption, or samadhi, and bodhicitta, and that as there is still the development through these qualities, that these specific qualities come about in connection with that, not necessarily in connection with the arising of experience and realization.
That Jikjar was that Marimji was in a penna, Dagakatomba, Shakjataba Tavina, Tene Tambo, Tene Jancho to Semjine, Tene Karpa Jami, Sumgön la, Tene Sosa Draba Jama, Tene Remji, Ta Sato, Sadu, Rembeta, Yontin Penna, Kejik la Sanje Jak, Shanjar Tobatang. Kechik Jigla Sanji Jak, then Ginger Lap Tobatang. Teni Sosoke, Tara Trubala Janji Tobatang. Tatella Soba get Yunti Jatra Junior Yorba, Dusotama, Teni Remji Jegioris, the Remjiwa. Teni Teletes and Jopa Tella Chikarwa Semeng Tabari. Teletes and Jopa te, Teni Sosoke, Ta Lamansini the Dimba Dang, Loma Mugu the Dimba. Teni take a down ne Machukpa, Tomne, Te Sosola Nyamto Java, Tanda Kutoni Young, Remji Tenrake, Yuntin to Sojewa, Yungu Yuri song. Dandikaps Chikarwa Tela, Jinezek, Gibson Jinezek Tab, Yayo Pare, Jinezek the Sat Tambo ni, Sat Dumping Mondo Part, Teni Yachi. Jiwa Tanda Chik Sunko Yuri, Tenzan Jinezek Yayo Pare. Denis Sumba Tela, Yang Tikungo de Yunti Jatra Juni. Gahi Yula, Tinin Gahi Mipate, Tini Tarate, Janchosamba Norzanke, Tini Lama Jers, Nanda Sotamjia Sajubawak, Tini Janchosamba Hata in Sunguyoris, Detawa, Gahiranga. There Yabat Chaswan, Sumbat Chaswan. Tani Yabatella, you na young ying tong matabas, Yuntin Yinjim tong Montong Mate, Tene Taratengazo Della Lobun Lodab. That Lobun Lodo in a Sanjik long thing Yabakijiva, Chepar the Paparite, Tene young Kong Yuntin to Yinke. Tarake Sat Sai Yunti Juni Jata Juni Yoran the so Yujan Yin Tong Matabate Yores Yuji Yin Tomata. Teni Yang Mayabatela Nabatela Teni Namjur and Yamji Nawas. Tapen Malareba Tower, Ya Malareba, Tini Konlan Nawak and Yamnanga here, Tini Kune Rankin Jarari Matoke, Tini Yi Takune Yosa Sacha Chipala de Bake, Mamang the Soke, Tonyo Mares, Tandanga Battery. Truba de long song that the long mercy in the la. The here Jatang Chepar Gahe Yongo Yobarite. Jetang the Sat Batang Yunti Jatra Juni Jiawate Sanjik long Gangla Yang Song Yo Mariso. Jopanji Sungo Te Song Yore. Sat Bata Yunti Jatra Juni Dax Tommy Yomate Sanjik Dog long Sanjik long Gangla Yang Song Yo Maris. Sat up the Yunti Remji. Drop go yoris. Oh, that data when drop what they gabare. That there's some already, yeah.
There again, there are there are also Lord Jikten Sumgön says then there are like different possibilities for the arising of these qualities. There are essentially 6 different possibilities, or that's why here it is said that 6 alternative ways of arising these qualities of Bodhisattva, the 12 sets of 100. There is, or not, maybe not specifically these, but the qualities in general. So one is in sequence, or in sort of a progressive stages, with the example of for instance, Shakyamuni Buddha, who first gave rise to the aspirational resolve, or the aspiration of awakening the bodhicitta resolve, and then for 3 immeasurable kalpas, gradually engaged in the process of gathering the accumulations and purifying obscurations. And so there are the experiences, that there are these descriptions of these extraordinary qualities, that arose for him and that arise as the qualities of awakening, these 12 sets of 100, which include receiving or seeing in a single instant 100 Buddhas appearing, or 100 Buddhas appear to one in a single instant, receiving the blessings of 100 Buddhas, manifesting or emanating one's form in 100 emanations, or 100 times, and so on and so forth. So there are the descriptions of these different qualities that occur. As Lord Jikten Sumgön is saying, so there's a possibility of development occurring either sort of more slowly or more quickly. So to the process of development that occurs more quickly is maybe what some people refer to as the awakening of the instantaneous realizer. But actually, as Lord Jikten Sumgön says, it is not that of the instantaneous realizer. It's just a quicker sequence of moving through the progressive stages. And this can occur when there is a qualified guru, a qualified spiritual teacher, and a student that has pure devotion. And there are pure pith instructions that are received. Based on those pith instructions, one goes through the progressive stages of awakening very quickly, as a sort of an instantaneous sequence. And an example of this kind, which is listed here as all at once, is Chenrezig, or Avalokiteshvara, who experienced the development of qualities in this way. So all the way, from the first bhumi to fully manifest a perfected awakening, all experienced as a single, as a sequence in a single moment. And so then there are some for whom some are present and some are not. So some of the qualities are present and some of the qualities are not. And so this is like the example of the 110 different gurus of the Bodhisattva Sudana. And then there is the possibility of qualities arising, but they are being invisible to others. And the example that is given here is that of, for instance, Nagarjuna, for whom it was foretold, that Nagarjuna would appear by the Buddha himself, that this great exceptional being would appear, and that he would have these extraordinary qualities of awakening, that he would dwell on the bhumis. And yet it wasn't the case necessarily that this was seen or known or apparent to others. Then there is the example of, or the fifth possibility is that the qualities manifest, but they manifest in the form of the appearances of the yogi's experience. Like in the example of Milarepa, who had all of these qualities arising in the form of inner realization or phenomena that appeared, and yet they were only visible to him. So even those who were dwelling in the same place, or residing in the same area as Milarepa, were not able to see these inner experiences of the yogi. And then the sixth possibility, or the sixth alternative with regard to these arising of the qualities, is actually that there is no authoritative scripture that teaches or that definitively says that the accomplishment of the path of seeing and the 12 sets of 100 qualities occur simultaneously. So Lord Jikten Sumgön actually claims or says that there is nowhere in the sutras where this is in fact definitively stated.
Oh yeah. Da dorji songni hyomba tende yilam rebe choni songdun jo song. Dan de kapso ying songba la tambo sunang cho san sunang cho tele cho de juris tele tini ishi cho den jungre son de tabaje songgo yurite da jitin songgo sonde tara choni sungjo ko thon nyamsling go yore son.
So then the 20th Vajra statement says, the two accumulations are gathered inseparably throughout all the phases of throughout the cause, path, and result, or the ground, path, and fruition. And so what some will say, or according to others, the two accumulations have a relationship of cause and effect, in that first, through the accumulation of merit, then this independence upon that vast accumulation of merit, then the accumulation of wisdom occurs. But that independence upon the accumulation of merit, then there can arise the accumulation of wisdom. But Lord Jikten Sumgön says this is not the case, that actually throughout the stages of the path, one practices the two accumulations as an indivisibility.
Jikten Sumgön ko sonde der yimba tarto nyamsling go yore son re. Yimba tarto nyamsling go na kandari sena ye dini sungjo son ye kapsa kunzo gdemba da dondang gdemba ni sungjo re son songdo jopa lam choni sungjo re son lam ji kapsa mikje sunang cho dang mi hi choni sungjo re son rebu kapsa rebu kuni sungjo son yingdo zukka da rando chukni sungjuk cha da yore son. The chapu jumsin de yet the nimbo. Korang ngola ranches yubu yuntin race on the so. Sunjong the so. Tether indu, tether yimba tardo, tan yamsalindu, then in debut the manor manturba took your race on.
So what Lord Jikten Sumgön says is that one must practice what is according to how it actually is. And so in this context, what is meant by that is that with regard to the ground, the path, and the fruition, with regard to the ground, the ground is the indivisibility of the relative and ultimate truth. So there's the indivisibility of the relative and relative truth and the ultimate truth from the basis of the ground. And then with regard to the path is the indivisible union of the conceptual accumulation of merit and the non-conceptual accumulation of wisdom. And then likewise, with regard to the fruition is the indivisibility or the indivisible union of the Rupakaya emanating for the benefit of others and the Dharmakaya manifesting for one's own benefit or as accomplishing one's own benefit. And all of these are the qualities that are inherent within the Buddha nature, or Tathagata Garbha. And so all the indivisible these qualities which are the nature of indivisibility are in fact the natural qualities inherent to the Buddha nature. And so therefore, if the indivisibility is a practice throughout these stages of the ground, the path, and the fruition, then there is no way, there will not be mistake or delusion or sort of error with respect to the manifestation of fruition.
Ta dung toni hi deke nyambondala yeba yo maris de yenza deke jibungola tani tade laso ba yo maris de yenza dan di long deke drop do dan di long deke Jula manang te sondo de semje ran yu sar kan ba te nge chi person oh yeah te ne nang kha yin den jirmi des yanda min to le zong du cha so lower te me te nyu mong mon jer so yang jula mat nang de nam yer je ben chin ni jin lower tak kam dong nam yer mi ben chin ni ji la mi chu chu dong ma yin so nan de so dam je gang dar yang ye lam je ba tam je da sung jo ri so ye de hin yin bo ge yong din de nen de yin zang de ni sung jo dar de nyam sling pa yin na de ni da Dreva yang deta de toku yore song. Perna randong la chuka top songa ina yindong la zuka ngangke drop dewa ta beche chang ko yorwa. Perna namkha timba ni ma char pa yomba ina sabye la teni loto ranging ko ya je wala pinto yong ko yoba na yinke 추주 랑니 추주거 ngol 상jendu teni zukla da zuk yindong de bemi lundrup je yongko yoba da yongko yoba kansina nyamling loba lamdu jenare nyamling je kapso cheme be ninje da cheme be jamba la so ba tamje nyamling ke tsar zoba yinza de cho tamje tini yindong ko dara dekhi nimbo ke yindong duya ke tumong mayin pa zenare ko rangin ke yondin je yinza tini zuk rangin je drop to ko yores tenda insan ta nyamlin de soni yamadar dang deni yamadar wa kuni yamadar wa te ta ton nyamlin nango yores
Tine namke gitin gi pedi gomta tata Chiyumare namka gitin chapa baptu tine sa da nato sama la pingyure sungyure.
re ta te ri nda tabro ngo ni ko korang ngo la nam to la so ba je yo mare pen nam ka tim ba na yin nam ka tim ba korang nam to ke yo mare nge sa chan dal de we ji ge go sa nam to yo mare te tene korang tim ba te ne ma cha wa ba am te ke ran yin ke lo to je wa la pin ta ro yo ba yin de shu ju ge la zimba mi jiang ni sun zimba mi jiang shu ju ge korang yong din de tene yin dong zhe ya yin la pin ya ge yong din zang tene zu ge ngang ge yong ge yo re si yin dong ge ji de
So when the ultimate meaning is realized, there is actually no division. There's no separation. There's no division within the Buddha nature. And so, as it says in the Uttara Tantra, the nature of mind, which is luminosity, is unchangeable like space, and not afflicted by the adventitious defilements, such as desire, which arises from impure thoughts. The Buddha nature is empty of the adventitious defilements, which have the characteristic of being separate, but it is not is not empty of the supreme qualities, which possess the characteristic of being inseparable. So when it comes to the innate qualities that are inherent to the Buddha nature, these are an indivisibility. And so throughout the stages of the ground, path, and fruition, then these qualities are practiced as an indivisibility, just as they are, in fact, from the perspective of the Buddha nature. And so, if they are practiced as an indivisibility, then the qualities also spontaneously arise as an indivisibility during the time of the fruition. For instance, in realizing the ultimate truth of Dharmakaya, thereby accomplishing one's own benefit, then the enlightened displays of the Rupakaya manifest for spontaneously indivisible as an indivisibility from the Dharmakaya, affecting the welfare and benefit, or accomplishing the welfare and benefit of beings. So it is like the space or the sky in which clouds appear. So the Svabhavika Kaya is the indivisibility of the three kayas, and there's no sort of concept or intention for the emanation of these three aspects of the kayas to occur. It is just the natural indivisibility. Just like the sky and the clouds that appear in the sky, the clouds appear and then the rain falls, and the rain that falls nurtures and benefits the earth and causes the plants and fruits and so forth to grow. And so So in the same way, without fixation, from within the realization of the Dharmakaya, the enlightened qualities of the Rupakaya, or the enlightened display of the Rupakaya, manifests spontaneously, without any concept. It's just the natural arising of the indivisibility. The activities of the Nirmanakaya, or the Rupakaya, the Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, are spontaneously accomplished. And this is due to having practiced limitless compassion during the practice, during having engaged in the practice during the time of the path, and due to the power of immeasurable compassion, then at the time of the fruition, then the result of that spontaneously manifests as the kind of natural indivisibility of the Tathagata Garbha. And so it isn't that the like emptiness of Dharmakaya has to be separately, is somehow a separate accomplishment from the manifestation of the Rupakaya for the empty manifestation of Rupakaya for others' benefit. These occur as an indivisibility, and in fact, all of these qualities that correspond with the ground, the path, and fruition occur as indivisibility, as an indivisibility.
Oh, that's not Yagamartre.
That's all?
Sunandaya Thamje Zebanye Dovanye Berdana Bazene Jege Nanja Balon Robai Seban Zolan Rova Roba Jo Jambar Bava Jadan Jambadan Kunda Zambo Dean Deyen Teda Gunje Jiza Dalo Zegewan Deda Damje Radang Janjo Simjo Rambo Je Maje Banam Jijir Jiba Nyamba Memba Yangona Gondo Bewa Jo Simjin Neba Jini Ba Nirde Nele Darje Jen Robe Nena Maluba Dadan Jongwa Meba Jo. May every being ailing with the disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much. Tujiche.
Thank you, Tujiche.
Thank you, everybody.